ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलन वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमः योगीव यस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ Verse 36. जीवोऽधिस्थश्चिदाभासः भवेद्भोक्ता हि कर्मकृत भोग्यरूपमिदं सर्वं जगत् स्याद्भूतभौतिकम्. So from 32nd verse onwards, the author is summarizing the whole Vedantic teaching given in the first 31 verses in a different language by saying so he is introducing three jivas. We have never heard this kind of a thing. One is a Paramarthika jiva, the second one is a Vyavarika jiva, and the third one is a Pratibhasika jiva. He also introduces two fields of experiences for the jivas, that is Vyavarika jagat and Pratibhasika jagat. So these things are introduced now. And and here, of course, with all the three types of jivas we have already seen. The Paramarthik jiva is nothing but the consciousness. Then the Vyavarika jiva is, the consciousness which is reflected in this waking body, mind, sense complex, and then transacting with the waking world. And Pratibhasika jiva is nothing but again a Chidabhasa, reflecting in a dream body mind sense complex and transacting with the dream world. So this is what he's giving a summary of the whole Vedantic teaching in this manner. So ultimately the original consciousness or the consciousness alone is manifesting like this and two types of Chidavasa, etc. The essence of essence of every jiva, Paramarthik jiva, of course, is a consciousness, but the other two are also essentially it is one consciousness alone. So this is how the Vedantic teaching has been said here. So this is Vyavarika jiva, that is jiva is nothing but the consciousness, Paramarthik jiva alone, that is the Brahman, and that is the Vedantic essence of Vedantic teaching, because that's a Mahavakya. Anyway, so this is how he does this. It's a very unique way of doing. And this in verse number 35 we already saw also that this Paramarthika jiva, which is I, of course, is identical with a infinite Brahman. And then author explores that how this Vyavarika jiva and this Pratibhasika jiva arise from the same consciousness, Brahman, Paramarthika jiva, that he mentioned. And let us imagine the state in which this Vyavarika and Pratibhasika universes are absent. Only Brahman is there. Sadeva Sova Indamagra Asit, etc. So there was nothing but Sat, or there was nothing but an Atma. There was nothing but a Brahman before the creation. Just non-dual Brahman alone was present. And then this means Paramarthik jiva, which is only present. And then I, Brahman, have a special power called Maya Shakti. Then this Shakti is twofold. One is the projecting power and the other is a concealing power. So using my projecting power, I, the Brahman, the Paramarthika jiva, project a dream upon myself. Projection, that's how I use the word dream. And it is very easy to compare with that other dream also later. So, this using my projecting power, I project a dream upon myself, the Paramarthik Jiva, the Brahman. And what is that dream? Well, the physical body and the physical universe. They are the dream projected by me, the Paramarthik Jiva. And for the sake of experiencing that dream, actually it's a waking world, you can understand. So for the sake of experiencing that dream, I identified with that Vyavarika body and the Vyavarika world, the waking body and the waking world. And identify means, well, definitely in the form of a Chidabhasa. And so, well, I become a Vyavarika Jiva. So the Paramarthik Jiva, I Brahman, becomes a Vyavarika Jiva ultimately. Becomes, you can understand, it's a within quote. And once the dream is entered into, well, the fact that the dream is a dream is forgotten naturally. So for the dreamer, the dream is a very real thing. And so that's how this waking world, what which I experience, I consider as a real. And I take myself as a Vyavarika Jiva, that's also reality for me. But actually I, the Brahman, is a Paramarthika Jiva, which of course manifests in this Vyavarika body mind sense complex in form of a Chidabhasa, identify with it, and then well, transact with this world. But I have forgotten. And so even though that is a dream, but then I take it as a real. I take myself as a real, there is Vyavarika Jiva, and I take this Vyavarika world, waking world, also as a real world. In fact, it's my projecting power, my dream only. And that projecting power is nothing but this Maya Shakti of me, the Brahman, the Paramarthika Jiva. And then a dreamer will never accept, well, this dream as a real, while in the dream, naturally. So dreamer does not know the waker, his higher nature. Because of my concealing power, I, the Paramarthik Jiva, will forget my Paramarthika status, and this world projected by me, well, gains a higher degree of reality. Gone. Somebody has interrupted. Okay. Anyway, and then when, well, with the, I do all these things with the help of my Maya Shakti. We will be comparing with our dream also later. There it is Nidra Shakti, etc. also. So here, this is I am doing with the help of my Maya Shakti.
We seem to have lost audio.
Yes, audio also gone. Now, are you able to listen? Yeah, okay. So anyway, and then Shastra will of course teach that, well, the experiencing the dream is fine, but understanding that it is only dream is important. That's what Shastra wants to convey you. Shastra wants to wake you up, or Shastra wakes you up, that's better. Shastra wakes you up, well, from the dream which you experience right now, and the very experiencer and the experienced world, both are just nothing but a dream that Shastra wants to convey to us. But most of us, of course, fail to do that because we refuse to wake up to that dream. So, Tishtata Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodhata. That's how Nachiketa was told, right, by Yamadharma Raja. He is taking Yamadharma Raja is teaching him. So he's definitely awake, but still Shastra tells him that Yamadharma Raja tells him that to wake up. Uttishtata Jagrata means this so-called waker. Still he is in a dream, but he doesn't know. While in the dream, he doesn't take it as a dream. So Shastra tells him to wake up. So only waking up will show that the dream was only a dream. That's what we saw in verse number 35. Now in verse number 36, well, further it has been narrated that what kind of experiences he undergo as a Vyavarika Jiva, and while transacting with the world, this waking world, Vyavarika world, what kind of experiences he undergoes, etc. That is mentioned here. So this I, the Paramathic Jiva, basically have forgotten my nature, and I have come to this universe as a Vyavarika Jiva. This universe is basically my projection, and it's my bigger dream, you can say. Bigger dream, longer dream, etc. etc. That is, we'll compare with that dream also a little later. So it's my projection, and so this, but I don't know, as I said you. So this confused Vyavarika Jiva basically is none other than this actually a consciousness reflected in the projecting mind. A projected mind, everything is projected through Maya Shakti. So this Jiva is the doer. What happens is, once I, the Paramathic Jiva, manifest in this projected mind, the mind is a projection, body is a projection, senses are projection, everything is projection. So when I manifest in that in form of a Chidabhasa, it's also projection. But due to concealing power of my Maya Shakti, I do not know that I am the Paramathic Jiva, the consciousness, that's reality. Instead, where I manifest, in the mind, I take it as a myself. As such, also being projection, it's non-separate from me. What is projected is always non-separate from the reality. So the snake which is projected upon the rope is non-separate from the rope. And so if it is too close, non-separate, then definitely it is very easy to mistaken one for the other. That is what is happening. And so, I instead of saying that I am the consciousness which is manifested in this my projected mind, etc., as a Chidabhasa, I take that Chidabhasa as myself, or I take the mind as myself. I take the sense of individual, I take the individual as myself. Either way you say, because ultimately it is localized, right? Mind is a localized, or the consciousness which is reflected, manifested in the mind is also localized. So everyone has that sense. Under the ignorance, everyone has a sense that I is a localized. When you ask me, Swamiji, where are you? Then I definitely, with my all senses, I will say, I am here in the ashram, in the room, I which is Paramathic Jiva, the Brahman, all pervading, I say, I am in the room. Clear? Therefore, definitely, one is mistaken for the other. I, the all-pervading consciousness, Paramathic Jiva, where I manifest, which is of course a non-separating thing, that I, take it as myself. And then, the mind being conscious. So you can say anything. I is taken as ahankara, you can say, because ahamvritti arises. As I manifest in the mind becomes conscious. That conscious mind, definitely tells aham. That's called ahankara. So, instead of taking I as a Paramathic Jiva, I take myself as ahankara, Vyavarika Jiva. And then conscious mind functions. But this is ahankara alone. Whatever functions done by the mind are claimed by the ahankara. And therefore you say, I am doing sankalpa vikalpa. I'm contemplating. I am knowing right now, right? All this. Or I am doubting. I am recollecting. All are functions of mind. But as the mind becomes conscious, that's not reality, frankly speaking. That is not an event that mind becomes conscious. There is not an event. We have already seen all these things. The relationship between the mind and the consciousness or Atma, etc., is a sahaja sambandha. We have seen that. Sahaja sambandha means as sahajayati. As the mind arises from the consciousness, it is conscious. Anyway, so mind is all the time conscious, whether it is in a manifest state or unmanifest state. Anyway, so mind is conscious, means it functions. All functions, chittam, and then manaha, buddhihi, etc. So I decide everything. So this is called vyavara. It's all vyavara. And then, of course, this ahankara pervades the entire subtle body, not just mind. So there is a I sense in our senses, I sense in the organ of actions, etc., organs of, knowing, sense organs, and in the prana and everywhere. And so whatever the functions done by other parts of the subtle body, that also I claim as ahankara. Please understand this. And therefore, as the eyes are seeing, definitely, well, because of the consciousness of the blessing of the consciousness, everything becomes conscious and functions. But first mind, that I claim as myself as ahankara. And then if when the eyes definitely see, since the eye sense has pervaded, ahankara has pervaded other parts of the subtle body, other than even mind. So all the functions done by the sense organs also are claimed by me. All the organs done by the organs of action, etc., like running, etc., walking, etc., well, I claim everything. I am walking, I am seeing, I am smelling, everything. And this is called transaction. The transaction of karma vyavara. Transaction of karma. Karma vyavara it is called. I am just consciousness in presence of which everything functions. It becomes conscious through Chidabhasa, of course, and they function. Well, but I claim, because of my own concealing power, my own Maya Shakti, because of the concealing power of the Maya, instead of claiming the I as a Paramarthik Jiva, Brahman, I claim as Ahankara, myself, and the functions done by the organs of action and everything, which is of course a part of Ahankara, well, I claim it as myself. And so I become a karta. I am a walker, I am this, I am picking up this thing, everything. And so I do, then that's how I said, well, I do karma. This is all dream. Please understand this. Exactly the dream. If you are able to compare yourself in your mind, it would be good. Otherwise, I'm going to do that. But you can compare. So I should not interrupt at this moment, but I'm just, for the comparison purpose, I'm telling you. So as a waker, under the Nidra Shakti, instead of a Maya Shakti, under the Nidra Shakti, I project a dream body mind sense complex. And definitely then, well, that becomes conscious, means there is a Chidavasa formation, and then transact with the projected dream world. There also you are walking, talking, etc. all. Waker doesn't do anything. Waker, under the spell of a Nidra Shakti, does all transactions in a dream world as a dreamer. Same thing here now. This is also dream, projected. So-called waking world and waking world and the waker. That's also actually a dream, because that's also a projection. The very waker, the Vyavarika Jiva is a projected, and the Vyavarika world also is a projected. And that projection I the Brahman do, Paramarthika Jiva do with my power, projecting power. That is Maya. That's how it is. And therefore, well, so various functions are done by the body mind sense complex. Well, but I say, no, I am doing all the functions because I have placed I sense in that Ahankara. And then definitely gathers Punyam and Papam. So the doer Jiva, that Vyavarika Jiva, becomes the Bhokta Jiva. That's what it is said here. So Jivo Distha Chidabhasaha Bhaved Bhokta. Bhaved Bhokta hi Karmakrit. Karma Karoti iti Karmakrit. So I do karma, just organs do the karma, but I claim the doership. That's how it is. The very first doership is there in the mind. There's aham which arises. That ahankara arises, that ahankara starts claiming. That is the function. Ahankara has a function of claiming everything, owning up everything. Owning up of whatever has been done by the subtle body. Whatever has been done by the organs of action, sense organs, mind, prana, everything. To claim. Frankly speaking, physical body doesn't do anything. We should remember that. Physical body doesn't do anything. Subtle body does. We feel physical body also does some karma and subtle body. No. Subtle body makes the physical body. Subtle body has everything. When the subtle body leaves, what physical body does? Nothing other than rotting away totally. No karma. The senses are not there, organs of actions are not there, what will function? Nothing will function. The mind is not there, brain is not going to function. So we should know the very sense of individuality, of course, there and then we claim as a doership. That's because the I sense is totally spread, arises from the mind, and it arises from that because the mind is conscious. The conscious mind, the very first thought arises aham. That's called ahankara. And then mind also, since mind becomes conscious, mind functions, varieties of the functions I told you, remembering and these and deciding and doing all this sankalpa, vikalpa and recollecting. Anyway, all the functions also I start claiming as myself. And then further, not just mind, but the other organs of action, etc. Also, there also this ahankara spreads. And so and then a whole subtle body spreads in the gross body. So you have I sense even in the gross body also. This is how this individual is. This is purely born of a consoling power of me, the Paramarthika Jiva. And that consoling power is of a Maya Shakti. So this is how he explains. So anyway, so the doer Jiva becomes the experiencer Jiva. And thus continuing this dream experience cannot be stopped except by waking up. So as long as I refuse to wake up, well, and keep doing the varieties of action, the cycle of action, etc., and well, this thing will continue. And that is how whole thing you can imagine. Entire gamut of this karma phala, and then punya papas and everything, and the division of the karmas, and all this is just a dream. So long as you don't wake up and you know yourself, you are a Paramarthika Jiva, Brahman, this whole thing will, which is a dream, of course, projection, will remain a reality for you. So you take Jiva, yourself as a Jiva, you will say, I have a sanchita, I have this is my prarabdha, I have so much of punyam, papam, and punarjanma, and then there is nitya nimitik karmas and whatnot. And this is pratishiddha karma, this is kamya karma, all entire thing. Well, even though it is a dream, just a projection, will enjoy a higher order of reality, not just dream, if you don't wake up. That's what it is. If you don't wake up. Anadi mayaya suptaha yada jiva prabudyate. I think after this is going to be over, Drsya Viveka will be starting a Mandukya only. That's better. You people deserve to study Mandukya. I think so we should do. Anyway, so for the Jiva's experience of pleasure and pain, now then this whole universe, the waking world, which is of course a projection dream only, the universe is the field consisting of 5 elements and an elemental world. So universe, the Jiva's body, this Chidabhasa are all within the dream of a Paramarthika Jiva. And that Jiva has chosen to identify with the Chidabhasa. Identify means placing I sense in that. That's it. There is no identification as there are two things like that. And they identify. It is not. There are not two. Now, if there are two, there is no projection. Suppose this is Paramarthika Jiva and this is a body, mind, sense complex, etc. And then this Paramarthika Jiva, well, place I sense in that. It's not like that. Identifying means, well, placing the I sense in the body, mind, sense complex. That's it. Nothing else. Which is just your projection, which is mithya thing. It has arisen now from you, from your Maya Shakti. And that is how, if there are two things identifying with each other, well, like the fire and the iron ball, well, they identify and become one. Don't think that way. That's how that example I really get afraid of. Because when, fireball is a one entity, because two things have identified into one, and therefore same way Atma and Anatma are two things and they have identified into one. Never is the case. Never is the case, because one is non-separate from the other, one is mithya. It's all projection power. That's very beautifully said here. It's a projecting power. You have projected through Maya. Anything which you project, of course, is non-separate from you. and therefore it is mithya. In fact, you are that. Your appearance, you are that means your appearances are there. That's not reality. You are not become body, mind, sense complex. It's your all appearance. Like the water appears in many waves. Not that water has become wave. It's not like that. Water appears in the form of a wave. And like any other our upadana karana we mentioned, it's all the karya karana sambandha that way works to an extent. Definitely works. Vacharambanam vikaro namadheyam mrittika ityeva satyam. Mrittika ityeva. That's how that is. This is the Mahapratignya of a Vedanta, which has been told in Chandogya. Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam. Whatever vikara, the products you are saying, they are vacharambhanam. Well, they have the reality, their being in just a name. Don't think there is a form outside. When you say pot, well, the pot name and corresponding form you want to see. Well, there is no form called pot as such. Means in reality there is no form. Which is separate from its cause called clay. So definitely for the name pot, the real being, the thing which is outside is clay only. And therefore the entire product, and the whole prapancha, which is nothing but a mithya. Mrittika ityeva satyam. Anyway, and so this is how I appear as a Vyavarika Jiva, Vyavarika world, well, the inferior version of myself as such. The final thing is, everything is me. Whether I mention or not, you have to take it that way. Somebody told me recently, Swamiji, you don't miss this line. I am saying you are missing. She is a well-wisher and she told me this. She is a very senior. She told me, Swamiji, why are you missing this? Say everything is consciousness. Therefore, I said, yes, you are right. Well, and therefore it's true. Everything is consciousness. If everything is consciousness, this is consciousness. So consciousness has become this? No. Maya. Well, my projection is this. My projection is this. My projection is this. My projection is this. Whole thing is my projection. So when I say everything is basically consciousness, that everything is a projection of me. If it is my projection, it's non-separate from me. Therefore I can say everything is me. Sarvam khalu idam Brahma. Everything is me. Non-separate. Why don't you claim it? It's your appearance. Why don't you claim it? The entire world is you. But the world is mithya, you are reality. When that's how we say in Panchadashi we saw, it's a Bhada Samanadikaranyam. So what you take as a world in reality is Brahman. What you take as a jiva in reality is Brahman. What you take as a Vyavarika jiva in reality is Paramarthika jiva. Then this Vyavarika jiva has come from what? My own Maya Shakti, which is beginningless, which is there with me. If it is there with you, then you and your power, there are two things. Then how do you say Ekameva Advitiyam? Well, there is no problem at all, because that is non-separate from me. And any power which is non-separate from the conscious being cannot be counted separately. Like my speaking power and I, the conscious being, you will never say that two things are joining today in the Zoom class. Swami and its speaking power. No. Swami is joining. But definitely, along with the Swami, his speaking power, which is non-separate from him, comes along. But you don't count. You count Advitiyam. You count only non-dual. One. I mean here in our case. Okay, let's go to verse 37. Anadikaalamarabhya mokshat purvamidam dvayam vyahvare sthitam tasmad ubhayam vyavaharikam. Now here author gives the reason why this Vekar Jiva, we call it as a Vyavaharika Jiva. This Vyavarika Jiva, the Chidabhasa, well, he is involved in all kind of transactions. Either a Jnana Vyavara transaction which involves which gives rise to knowledge, or karma vyavahara, well, ultimately gives rise to punya papa, or even drishta phalam, adrishta phalam, everything. So the Paramarthik Jiva, well, of course, is beyond all transactions, similar to the waker being not involved in any of the dream transactions. Just for comparison, waker is not involved in a dream transaction. Waker definitely projects the dream body mind sense complex. Waker projects even the dream world. But waker is not involved in the dream transaction between the dreamer and the dream world, right? Same way here, this waker also, which is of course a projection because of the identification with this body mind sense complex, and even this world which is also a projection on the Paramarthik Jiva. Well, in that, this Paramarthik Jiva is not at all involved. So the beginning of this waker Jiva and the waking universe, well, in which the transactions are going on, cannot be known, well, just like the beginning of a dream cannot be ascertained. So this is this is how we say the world is Anadi, the Jiva is Anadi, etc. Vyavaharik Jiva is Anadi, Vyavaharik world is Anadi. Here also you can compare with the dream. So basically, even dreamer cannot see. I mean, what happens is, beginning of the dream, the dreamer, let us say, even the dreamer cannot say for certain that when the dream started. If dreamer says that dream has started at this point, means he must be knowing before the conditions before. And what was the condition before? Well, before then there was a waker. There was a waker, right? And therefore, definitely, so then he must be knowing, he must have a knowledge of the waker. If he has a knowledge of the waker, well, how can he become a wake dreamer? Could you follow? And therefore, definitely the dreamer, the projected, well, the waker which has projected with the Nidra Shakti, forget about now waking, the waker which is under the projection of a Nidra Shakti has projected the dreamer and the dream world, that this dreamer doesn't know, well, definitely when I have become a dreamer and when the dream world has started. Never. Definitely not. If he is knowing the conditions before, well, he would not be a dreamer at all. So for a dreamer to do that, well, he must be the knower of the waker, which is not. Then you say, well, waker knows when the dream has started. Kya baat hai? Waker cannot say when the dream started, because for him the dream does not even exist. If he is a waker, well, then for him the dream does not exist. Dreamer do not exist at all. So same way, from beginningless time, this Vyavaharika Jiva and the Vyavaharik universe continue to exist in transaction. And that is how we say this Vyavaharika Jiva, or the Jiva, we generally use the word. The Jiva is Anadi, and the world also is Anadi. The Vyavaharika world also is Anadi. It is very true. If you compare with the dream, then you will definitely find that, well, this dreamer definitely cannot say when the dream has started. The waker cannot say the dream world has started, or I have projected at this time, etc. He doesn't know. Malab, he doesn't say that because for him it doesn't exist at all. So anyway, from the waker's standpoint, the very dreamer and the dream world do not exist. There is no question of, well, he says at this particular time I have started this. No. So anyway, from beginningless time, so the Vyavaharika Jiva and the Vyavaharik universe continue to exist in transaction. Can this dream of transaction end or not? Well, using there is a spiritual awakening, etc. Well, this Vyavaharika Jiva, well, until the person exposes oneself to the Shastra, etc., teaching, then till then, well, this dream continues. So Vyavaharika Jiva continues the transaction with the Vyavaharika world. And therefore this Jiva is called a Vyavaharika Jiva, because he continues, he transacts with, as a Vyavaharika Jiva, as a waker, while he continues to transact with the waking world. So this waker Jiva, or the waker, is called Vyavaharika Jiva because he transacts. So dream example is really a best example to explain the unbelievable state of affairs, really speaking. So waker projects the dream, body mind sense complex in the dream world, enters into it, forgets his higher nature, that he is a waker actually. Under the Nidra Shakti he is doing all this, it's just a projection. He is really not a dreamer, he is a waker of a higher order of reality. But anyway, he forgets and enters the dream transactions and experiences the results thereof. So learning from these experiences, which is every night, we can understand that this waking experience is also another kind of a dream. It's so much similarity. If everything is that way similar, then do you think it is a dream? If it is a dream, then I cannot recall all the dream world next day in a dream. This world I can recall. This world is a stable world. How can you say it is a dream? So that will, the answer will be given, don't worry. So I'm creating. So author is going to deal with this now in the next few verses. Perhaps, it's still. Unfortunately, this happens in the second class. Because the first class means the throat was. Yeah. Let's read verse 38. Chidabasa sthita nidra vikshepa vritti rupini आवृत्य जीव जगति पूर्वे nutne dukalpayet. So author says, well, I, this Paramarthika Jiva, basically am projecting this Vyavarika Jiva, Vyavarika Jagat, space, time, everything it includes. Everything is projection. Since both are my own projections, both of them are like dream. Now we are changing. Both of them are like dream. The power that I have to project this Vyavarika Jiva and the Vyavarika Jagat, that power which I have is called Maya. And now identified with the Vyavarika Jiva and forget my Paramarthika Jiva nature because of my own concealing power, in which my own Swarupa, the nature, is concealed. So this is mistake number one. This is mistake number one. So instead of claiming my own higher nature as a Paramarthika Jiva, I claim with an inferior version of a Vyavarika Jiva and then transact with the Vyavarika world. So this is first mistake. The second mistake is this. Then this Vyavarika Jiva I projects the Pratibhasika Jiva, the dreamer, and Pratibhasika world, the dream world, with the help of what? Here now which Shakti? Before you to commit a mistake number one, you have a Maya Shakti. Now here which Shakti? Nidra Shakti, Avidya Shakti. And identified with the Pratibhasika Jiva in the dream state. And then the same, this Avidya alone has this twofold power. Even in a simple example of our snake rope snake, twofold power. So rope, the concealing power so the nature of rope is covered. And Vikshepa, what is created is snake. Projected is snake. So these two things are there. That's how Avidya and Maya, we have seen in Viveka, no, we have not seen, in Gujarati class of course we saw. Avidya and Maya are equated. Acharya, while talking about a Karana Sharira, he should say Avidya only, right? He should talk about Avidya. No. When the topic of Karana Sharira came, he went to Maya immediately. Whole description of Maya. So in Acharya's eyes, Maya and Avidya are not two separate things. And there are so many reasons, of course, have given there. I'm not going into that. But basically this twofold power is there. Maya means twofold power. Maya means power. Power means twofold. Vikshepa, Avarana. Avidya, also a power. And twofold power. Vikshepa, Avarana. Wherever there is Avidya, there is some projection. and even concealing its reality also. So the Avarana Shakti also is there. That's how it says Chidabhasa Sthita Nidra, Chidabhasa Sthita Nidra Vikshepa Avruti Rupini. Vikshepa and Avruti Avarana. So this Pradivasika Jiva also forgets his higher nature due to concealing power, Avruti, and well, that's a Nidra Shakti, and takes the projected dream to be real, and experiences also which happens between the dreamer and the dream world. That experiences have been taken as a real by the dreamer also. And dreams effects can be subdued, well, by waking up. In order to correct the mistake, well, so he has to wake up. If the waker's world, well, what which is really projection, disturbs the waker, well, waker needs to wake up. Dream experiences definitely disturbs the dreamer, right? So he just so some thief who I think is following him, etc., and he just shouts and gets up, and then when he wakes up, then he gets relieved. So in the waking world also we saw several things are headache for us. Well, yeah, right? Which is, of course, this is also projection by Maya. Then what you should do? The only solution is you have to wake up. Only solution. To make yourself free from all the problems in the transaction or with the dream world, the dreamer has to do only one thing. Neither killing the tiger, neither killing the thief, nothing. Or you're feeling too much hungry and you are about to die and you say you need a food and all that. And you are crying and shouting too much and all this. Well, all the problem. The solution is only one. Just to wake up. Here also, only one solution. Wake up. In a waking world, in the transacting with the waking world, if you try to manipulate the waking world in order to make the waker, you, the Vyavarika Jiva, as a comfortable, the problem never ends. And it has never ended at any time in the past. Never ended. At one side it has been ended. You find the five fronts are opening. Even in terms of body, I am telling you. You feel you are relieved now. You have this particular disease has gone, that has gone. You will see the third day something pops up. Not a single day go out. And here everything is okay, then mind creates a lot of problem. Then senses create some problem. And if everything is okay here, then family creates problem. If that is not a problem, neighbor creates a problem. So you are fighting and fighting and fighting. You want one thing from the birth. You want to be comfortable throughout the life. To be comfortable throughout the life is a goal of the life. And to be comfortable with yourself, only one solution. You should know yourself. Basically that you are comfortable. Nothing can touch you. Entire dream world cannot touch me because I am waker. I have not killed anybody, nothing I have done. I just woke up. All the problems of the dream world has gone. Here also. So this is also projection. You have to just wake up. Other than that, remaining in dream and fighting with the dream world, problem never ends. Problem never ends. That's how we have a fundamental problem. Puja Swamiji's talk. Fundamental problem. Fundamental problem is don't remain in dream. Wake up. That's it. Shastra wakes you. Mahavakya wakes you up. Showing you your higher order of reality. That's it. You, the Jiva, well, basically Vyavarika Jiva, is Brahman, Paramarthika Jiva. You are Brahman. And therefore, well, through Maya only you are projecting everything. And remaining in dream, well, while you are in dream, you take the dream as you don't take dream as a dream. You take it as of a higher order of reality. And therefore, well, and then the world as though haunts you through experiences. So anyway, so this is a final solution given by Shastra. So this first waking up is from that dream, then problem ends, right? And the second waking up is to get out of this waking samsara. And Gaudapadacharya, that's how refers in the Mandukya Karika in the first chapter, in the 16th Karika. You read that. Anadi Mayaya Suptaha Yada Jiva Prabudyate. Jivaha Prabudyate. When this Jiva comes to know what? Ajam, Anidram, Aswapnam, etc. etc. I am unborn, I am dreamless, well, I am sleepless, etc. Anyway, I am Turiya. That's where in the Turiya has been introduced there. This Turiya is not by Mandukya Upanishad. Turiya word has been introduced by Acharya, Gaudapadacharya ji. Gaudapadacharya ji introduced this word Turiya, not by Upanishad. Anyway, so of these three jivas now, Vyavarika, Paramarthika, Vyavarika and Pratibhasika. Well, author has talked about this Paramarthika jiva in verse 32, 33, 34. And the Vyavarika jiva, he talks in this 35, 36 and 37. Now in verse 38, here which we are referring right now, this Pratibhasika jiva is described. So Paramarthika jiva projects the Vyavarika jiva and the Vyavarika jiva projects the Pratibhasika jiva. Paramarthika jiva projects the Vyavarika jiva through Maya Shakti. The Vyavarika jiva projects the Pratibhasika jiva through Avidya Shakti. But ultimately, this projecting power is there in both and concealing power is there in both. Anyway, and this power, of course, Nidra Shakti, well, second projection is very similar to Maya Shakti and has the same capability, projecting and concealing. So with this power of projection and concealment, well, Nidra Shakti creates a new dream jiva, the dream world, and simultaneously covers the waker in the waking world. And this dream jiva is referred to as a new, well, in this verse to indicate that the dream jiva is not aware, well, that he is originally the waker. So both the waking jiva and the world and the dream jiva and the dream world are my projections only. As a Paramarthik jiva, these two projections, two layers of projection, and therefore all the three states, waking state, dream state, or even a deep sleep state, all are projections only on Turiya. I am Turiya. Paramarthik jiva means I am Turiya. So in which both these are projected. Right? I think this is enough for today. So then for verse 39 we will see next week. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavada.
Swamiji, you are better today, Swamiji?
Yes, how do you feel?
Better. You look better.
Yeah, what happens is I showed to a doctor and one physician, primary physician, and she told me that you have a pollen issue, pollen allergy. So it will take some time to go. Don't do anything else other than you take a Flonase to keep it open and use Allegra, etc. once a, that 24 hours, once a day. So these two things that I'm doing, and I'm feeling better, of course. But she said very carefully that it will take some time to go. So sometime your voice becomes hoarse and everything. So this thing will continue for some time. So
Swamiji.
No.
Swamiji, your lecture was so good today. It was so really good. And, I just wish I could hear it again. So, is there some kind of a link that I can hear it again?
We are putting in this Pratyek, and our
post it.
Prabodh Bhai is here only, and he will post it. I'm uploading this lecture. I'm uploading in that Pratyek Bodha Darshanam YouTube channel, and he said he will post it in our group. Muktatmanda group is there, right? So he will post it also. Or else you can keep a note. Pratyek Bodha Darshanam is a YouTube channel. Pratyag. and BOD,
ठीक
HA.
है आज का हाँ आज का तो बहुत ही अच्छा था. It was very pertinent, so I want to just listen to it again to digest it. So, it would be really helpful if somebody could just send me
Yeah.
aaj ka link.
I'll post it today.
So he will post it today. I will. It takes I think 2 hours for me to upload in that channel,
ठीक है.
and then
ठीक है.
then he from that channel he will take it and post it in our group. Okay.
ठीक है. ठीक है. Okay जी, thank you so much.
Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste. 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 Namaste.
This morning was like a
Yeah.
glory, ultimate glory.
The Drsya Viveka is something really
incredible.
unusual.
Because, see, for us, the analytical mind, Swamiji,
Yeah.
it gives such a clarity.
Yeah.
Because you are constantly
Depending
struggling.
on one subject.
Show me the proof. Show me the proof. Here is the proof. There is no better proof than
But this is how the sannyasis get an advantage, because he has to teach. He has to read, make it clear, and then teach.
Right.
So that is how assimilation, etc. It helps in
It's
assimilation,
just
etc.
Incredible. Morning class was also so
Similar
beautiful.
subject, same subject.
Same,
Because
Drsya
then
Viveka, but we are little on
Right,
32nd
right.
verse or something.
But
This is 37.
Same thing. It just makes you wonder about, God, we are born in a country, we really need to be so proud of ourselves.
Still, as you say, you have to wake up.
All you have to do wake up.
I know,
Just wake up.
just wake up. And here you used to wake us up.
Any teacher, I mean, not me.
I know, Swamiji, but
Every
I mean,
day
when
he
you are
wakes up,
teaching,
but
it's like
every
basically,
day we still.
it is the teacher
Vedantic
which,
teachers are really
Yeah.
the people who try to wake up the others.
it's the, when
help
I
others.
say you, it's the teaching, basically.
Yes, correct.
Basically, you-
Should I give a prasadam today, everyone? Some, 1 minute. Yes. Oh, are
After
you?
the lecture, yes.
Yes, I will give you. Namaste. Huh? There's some kind of a burfi. Yeah, small piece, so nothing to worry about.
They came from
This is
outside.
I think almond flour or something. Yeah. Small piece, so nothing to worry about.
You
Thank you,
take care
Swamiji.
now. We
Yeah.
don't want you to
Drink some
strain.
whatever.
Yeah. Warm
warm
water.
water.
You,
There is a.
may I suggest something?
Yeah.
go ahead.
For the allergy, you can take kokum syrup really.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kokum
That's
is
an antihistamine.
Antihistamine, yeah. Pure
Natural antihistamine.
I'll get it. No
Yeah.
problem.
Indian store may have it, but I'll ask at least.
No. Somebody is coming after 2-3 days
If
to meet me.
otherwise ask Sanjay, he's coming later.
No.
No. See, Saraben will boil the kokum.
That's better. That's better.
Fresh kokum,
Fresh
boil
cocoa.
it in the water and
That's
then
better
fry
rather
it.
than taking with the preservative and all.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
This is better.
Yeah, that water is very good for the stomach in summer.
Stomach
Some
also?
Stomach, yeah.
kokum
Kokum water is
Kokum
very
sharbat.
popular in India also.
So giving a cool effect.
Cooling effect.
for the stomach also.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
anti-stomach.
That's
acid.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Hariyo,
See you,
hariyo,
see you.
hariyo.
Yes, we are going to be here.
That's what
Yes.
Pramod Bhai told me.
Beautiful day today. Huh?
Drsya Viveka. They both like also this topic also, I said. And they, fortunately they have come last
I said
evening.
yes, we can't miss this opportunity.
I called him in the morning. I said, Rajima, you are coming. We are going to take a 10:30 class.
Ah,
You don't have to do the traffic there. It is Friday. He left at 9:02 and you made it. the COVID